Well, good evening, good evening, good evening, and welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Want to thank you so much for joining me this evening, this lovely Thursday evening in the UK. Uh, it's another day. It's another very interesting day, with what is happening in the world. I want to thank you those who are joining me on Instagram, those who are joining me on TikTok, those who are joining me on Facebook, and those who are joining me ultimately on YouTube. Well, tonight is going to be what the manifestos say. As you know, we're in the throes of an election in the UK. June the 4th, July the 4th, May the 4th be with you. So hopefully, it's supposed to be joined by Gary, who's in the States at this time, and Herbert as well. But just want to take this hour just to sort of reflect on the weeks ahead in this election, and are people feeling it? Are you feeling the election vibes? Is it exciting, or is it daunting, or is it just boring? What do you say about this election? But let's have this discussion tonight regarding the election, July the 4th. Well, tonight there's supposed to be another debate, which is going on. I think with seven minor leaders. What one should I say? With Penny Mordaunt for the Conservative, and Angela Rayner for Labour, and different persons from the Green Clad, and Reform UK with Nigel Farage, which has been creating a storm. Creating a storm by things being thrown at him, milkshake, and also people throwing things at him, which I believe it is wrong. And unfortunately, the persons have been somewhat arrested at the same time. Um, there's also the whole issue regarding even Jeremy Corbyn. Jeremy Corbyn is in the wings there. Jeremy Corbyn is actually vying to be an independent candidate. One thing I've not heard any confirmation about Diane Abbott as well. But I believe Diane Abbott is supposed to be standing in as a Labour candidate, but I've not heard anything officially. But the manifestos are now out. Labour manifesto is now out today. Conservative manifesto is now out. Lib Dem manifesto is now out. And Reform manifesto is now out. Green Party manifestos are now out. And all of these manifestos are now out. And the big question is, do you know what is in the manifestos? Do you know what is in the manifestos? Do we know what is in the manifesto? And if you know what is in the manifesto, or you understand what is in the manifesto, or you see the headline in the manifesto, what does it mean? Because the manifesto somewhat should be this sort of roadmap. The manifesto should be this roadmap that takes you into the heart of what the policies are for the country, leading up to the election and what is going to happen eventually in the election. Someone said to Rishi Sunak, this is what they said to Rishi Sunak. They said to Rishi Sunak, this is what they said to Rishi Sunak. What guarantee will we have that if you even win the next election, that you will be there for the next 2 years? I guess they're reflecting as to the recent change of conservative leaders over the years. And that is something that is worth considering as well. What is that guarantee when you actually put yourself before the people, put yourself before as a mandate? You're mandated by the people, because right now what we know as a reality and as a fact that Rishi Sunak, one would say, do not have the mandate of the nation. When you go before the nation, the leaders there, and his seal and his fingerprint and his hand is all over the policies, all over the whole process, like how Boris was, like how David Cameron was, like how Margaret Thatcher was, and Tony Blair was. Their fingerprints were all over the policies, and therefore you will have to have a situation whereby the next leader leading from the front should have his fingerprints all over the policies. And one would say that at this time, one would say Rishi Sunak fingerprints and hand is all over the policies. At this time, we'll say that Keir Starmer policies is all over this. One would say Reform, Green, their fingerprints are all over these policies. And that's one of the very interesting things, because politics is a very interesting time. Elections every 4 years or every 5 years, as someone said once, one should not just see elections as a way how you actually play a part in the process every 4 years or every 5 years, right? One should be able to be taking part in the process every step of the way, right through from the start and right through to the end of the policies. But let me just bring in Mr. Gary Graham, who is somewhere in the other side of the world. Are you coming to tell us about Trump, Gary?
No, my friend, no, not at all. Welcome to the the sunny state of Florida, but it's raining, pouring it rain out
Oh,
here.
well, actually, one wouldn't actually see that it is raining unless you say, because one is seeing that you're on the outside, so it looks like a sunny state that you're in at the same time, and
Yeah.
and just for the record, just my condolences as well at the same time again, and the listeners, for the passing of your mother, and the funeral which took place there,
Thank you
but
very much.
mm,
Yes, it's a it's a event that, well, you'd understand. You lost your father some years back, but
yes,
when you miss a parent,
mm,
you'll never really get another parent like them again. Really, really.
yes,
Mm,
most definitely. and
mm.
and I was fortunate to watch most of it, and of course listening to it, it gave me memories as well, as our our family and parents sort of have that same sort of brought up, see, in in the church, in that network there,
Yes, 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 yes. It's
yeah.
true.
So it gave us that sort of memory at the same time, you know
Mm,
and as they say, memories don't live like people do, so those memories live long
that's true. That's true.
and generate, but listen, as you know, the UK now is on this threshold of this major, what should I say, this major election, which is due on July the 4th. And I don't know if you have been in any of these debates or these presentation. Last night there was a presentation by it's not a debate, it was a presentation by Sir Keir Starmer and Rishi Sunak by Sky. And the, the 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 interesting thing about this one is that they said Keir Starmer won by 64%, but based on the polls, of course, and Rishi Sunak got 36. But what was interesting about it is the fact that they asked Sir Keir Starmer, sorry, Sir Rishi Sunak, did he have to give up anything when he was growing up, or what he couldn't afford, because he grew up with an affluent family, and he said, yeah, he had to give up Sky. and I think they did some fact check on it and said Sky wasn't. The time when he said he give up Sky wasn't really around. you know. And the funny thing, he was on Sky. So
probably,
that,
probably it was a slip of the tongue, man, or he didn't realize what.
because I guess the guy, because the interview that was on was the interview which he dashed from D-Day and came back to do this interview, and he had to apologize, you know, or so. But anyway, the manifestos are out now, Gary. You know, the manifestos are out now, and you know, Labor gave their manifesto today, with their key pledges on the economy, health, education, and also on immigration.
Right.
You know, I'm trying to see if I can get this thing up here. The Labor Party manifesto pledges. Let me see if I can get it up here. Labor manifesto pledges. Share screen. Manifesto pledges. Here we are. Don't know if you can. Don't know if you can see anything.
Not really. Not. Hold on. Let me see if I can. Not really. It's not. It's not that clear. Really.
It's not that clear.
No. No.
Yeah.
No.
Well, anyhow, what it says, the key pledges for Labour is Great British Energy, publicly owned clean power company, VAT on private school fees, vote for 16-year-old. That's a good one. Just coming in for 16-year-old vote. Devolve transport, skills, housing, planning powers to local mayors, new border security, command to prosecute small boat gangs, national railways, and on the economy, it says cap corporation tax at 25%, minimum wage to account for cost of living, no age limit, no income tax, national insurance or VAT rises. That's what it said, no income tax, national insurance or VAT rises, 10-year infrastructure strategy for all, rail, road, homes, and in health, 100,000 extra dental appointments for children, ban high caffeine energy drinks for under 16s, use private sector to help to get NHS waiting um, list down, 2 million here, more NHS appointments for a year, 1.6 billion for more hospital appointments, new CT scanners, extra dentists, 8,500 new mental health. And if I go on education now, it says 100,000 new nursery places, free primary school breakfast clubs. This is something that Marcus Rashford, I believe, was campaigning for. 3,000 primary school based nurseries, 6,500 new teachers, training apprenticeship help to find work for all 18 to 21 years old. Okay, I think I'm getting it bigger here. Let me see. Yeah, getting it bigger. Can see there, yeah. Don't know if you can see
Okay.
there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And then say immigration cancel. Oh wow, you like this one? Cancel the Rwanda policy. So that's very bold. Cancel the Rwanda policy. That's really bold. Um, increase increase security cooperation with EU. Give police more powers to search suspected people smugglers. Train more UK workers and ban employers recruiting from overseas as default. Hire 1,000 more caseworkers to return more asylum seekers. Abolish non-dom status. Um, and I'm just going through the points. Housing easier to get permission to build. End no fault evictions immediately. Stop developers selling new flats as leasehold. 1.5 million new homes. Plan to build homes, new towns. Yeah. Environment, National Wealth Fund for cutting edge green block executive bonus for failing water companies, make 5 million home energy efficient, 650,000 new energy jobs by 2030, long-term sector for nuclear power, ban fracking. It goes on, Gary. Crime, extra 13,000 constables and PCSOs, crack down on antisocial behavior, have knife crimes in a decade, new criminal exploitation of criminal offense, fast track rape cases with specialist court and defense, absolute commitment to UK's nuclear deterrent, bring in Martin's law, strengthen public event security, return ECHR member, 2.5% of GDP on defense as soon as we can, military strategic headquarters for joined up strategic direction. Ladies and gentlemen, that was just me giving a quick synopsis of the policies, pledges for Labour Party. What do you think about it, Gary? What do you think? Is it ambitious?
No, I mean it is ambitious. I mean they don't. It happens every general election. Obviously,
Yeah.
they're forecasting a vision. Nothing wrong with that. But are they going to? Will they ever accomplish all of that? I'm not too sure.
Yes. Yes.
I'm really not too sure about that. You know, it's. I mean, if you look at each one, I mean, we can't look at each one in depth.
In depth, yes.
You know, but you know, VAT on private school fees. I mean, you know, that's going to put pressure on the rich or on those who want. You see, it's not only the rich send their children to private schools.
Private school, yes.
I mean, you've got some who will work around the clock to send their child, their only child, or you know, their children. They may have two, so they'll want to send them to private school. But if you begin to tax them now, obviously you're putting more pressure on them. Never mind whatever else pressure is out there in regards to the electricity and the gas and the petrol and the food and all of that others have to take in consideration. So will they complete on that? I'm not too sure. I don't know.
But it's interesting you say that because the young lady who was killed, the knife killing in Croydon, one wouldn't say that her parents were very well off, but she was at private school, you know.
Right.
And that's the thing what you said right there, you know, because Labour is maneuvering to really go at it for the rich at the same time, you know.
Yeah.
And with the whole aspect of trying to somehow be that change. You see, one of the things that is very interesting about this sort of election. What is very interesting about this election is that change is a key factor. The word change, where people want to actually see change because they're tired of this sort of chaos. And as a point which I flagged up earlier, where they said, if Rishi Sunak wins the next election, what's a guarantee that he's going to be there in the next 2 years? Because you know what, the policy of these government guys and the MPs can be very fickle, especially with the Conservative Party that had led with 3 prime ministers within a couple of years.
Right.
Yeah. So that's very interesting. But what is so very clear, I would say, about the Labour is that I don't think they were that clear before regarding the Rwanda policy. Do you think they were that clear as how they are now?
I don't think so. I mean, they've had a few knockbacks where that is concerned, isn't it?
Yeah.
So I don't think they've been clear with well, not them. I mean, the government has had a few knockbacks.
Yes.
In pushing that through. So I really don't know where when it comes now to the immigration, what what their thoughts are, what they're planning to do. I don't know. I
Well,
was
well,
looking. I mean,
sorry, go.
yeah, before you go into the immigration, I was looking at even they say here no income tax, natural insurance, or VAT rises. Now, with everything else, I'm thinking that may be coming online. How are they going to raise taxes?
Mm.
They're saying no income tax, no national insurance, and no VAT rises. Can they guarantee that? I don't know if
Well,
they can.
well, this is what a lot of people are actually saying is that Labor somehow is playing very safe and not giving off certain things. It's like they just want to get in, and then once they get in, waboom, you know, because in order to deal with these sort of fundings, but as most of the reporters and punters are saying, they're playing it very safe and cautious because they've got this 20% up in the polls, and
Right.
and and what is happening is that the conservative, I don't know, there's a very interesting thing which is happening though with reform. um we will talk about later, but reform is climbing, and Nigel Farage says something that hopefully in the future he sees a reform conservative thing. It's like they're forecasting something, because a lot of people from who are in reform now are somewhat disgruntled conservative members, if anything.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what you're saying? You wanted to go? Which one you wanted to look at? Was it the defense or what, or the immigration bit you're saying?
Well, I mean, I was just looking across I was just looking at the economy. I just probably looking at each at one area of each one where there
Yeah.
may be difficulty in fulfilling. You know, I'm just looking at it really.
Yeah.
Education. I don't know. I mean, why
Mm.
is it they're saying they're going to get 6,500
New
new,
teachers.
new teachers, but where are they going to getting the money to pay them? You know, I mean that's just one out of education. In immigration, as you mentioned, it's the the hiring of more case workers.
Yes.
I
Yeah.
don't know. You see where again where the government shot themselves in the foot
Mm.
is when they came out of Brexit, and again, I don't know.
Well, one of the things that Labour has said, they have said that they want to have a review of this policy with Europe at the same time after the chaos of Brexit. You know, I mean, when you look at it in a way, and subject to this, I mean, Grandchap, who is the defense secretary, he made a statement, Gary. You might not have heard it, but he was referring to for Labour, or telling people for Labour to not have a supermajority. So many people are actually saying such a statement like that is actually already accepting a defeat. This is what in the circles of some persons within the conservative, you know, but, not wanting to have a super majority. Now, if Labour have a super majority, and this is a good point, if Labour have a super majority and knowing where they're pushing for, do you think that they could use that super majority, if anything, and refine or pull back on Brexit, or they got to go back to people to deal with taking back Brexit, you know, kicking that
I
to the
don't
curb?
know. I don't know. I mean, um, he may be saying that.
Mm.
Remember, to some extent, MPs or people in
Yes.
politics, they say things that they say things, or they are the mouthpiece of
Yes.
those who want to say it but can't say it.
Yes. Yes.
So,
Yes.
so the Conservative Party, at one point, as you know,
Yes.
they had a whopping majority in one of the general elections. They had a whopping majority.
Yes.
So
Yes.
they were then ready, and they were able to do whatever they wanted to do. So it may be a shot across the bows of the Labour Party to say, be careful, because if you get a whopping majority, then you'll
Mm.
be able to do. Or he's trying to inform others that the Labour Party must not get a whopping majority,
Yes.
because if they do, then they could make a complete U-turn of what the Conservative Party has done over the past how many years.
And for instance, like even the Rwanda policy, where they have made it clear in their policy that they will cancel it, cancel that policy. Someone just asked me on TikTok, what's the policy? What's the topic tonight? The topic tonight is um, the manifesto. What is the manifesto of the different parties tonight? Of course, we can't go through all of them tonight, but looking at the key main parties, which is the Conservative, Labour, and also the Lib Dem, if anything. So it's about the election, and ladies and gentlemen, it is about what's your take on election. Is this election excites you, or you just want to get the back, you just want to get rid of the Conservatives, and you just want to get back Labour, what does this election say to you? Persons, if you can actually tap on the screen, share the video, and what does this election say to you? Yes, Gary, you're saying.
No,
Mm.
again, I'm just saying that I just think that the country is in a very sticky position.
Yes, yes,
I don't know if it would be the best thing to get rid of Rishi altogether.
yes.
I'm not saying that he's perfect. I'm not saying that the ideals of the Conservative Party
Mm.
is right for the country. What I'm saying is that if the Labour Party gets in and they have a majority that the Conservative Party cannot dent, then I think that the UK is going to be in for a very rough time, because
But,
the
but
Conservative Party has
yeah,
been for so long. The
yeah,
policies, you see, the Labour Party can't just. It's like turning an ocean liner in the Thames. It's going
yes,
to be difficult.
yeah.
And
Let's look at the Conservative Party manifesto pledges. And the key pledges is triple lock plus for pensioners, raise tax-free pension allowance every year, 1.6 million well-designed homes in the right places. I was listening to Keir Starmer manifesto today, and he had a couple of persons that came up to give their talk, and and one person was saying that he definitely need a house, and Keir Starmer was saying that they're going to ensure that happens. But what we're seeing here by the Conservative is 1.6 million well-designed homes in the right places. It talks about 2p national insurance cut by April 2027, national service for 18-year-old. That is the one which they say they plucked out of the air. Invest 36 billion in local roads, rail buses, 8.3 billion on potholes, road services, abolish main rate of self-employed national insurance, and in the economy, uh, will not raise income tax, which is similar to what Labour is saying, national insurance, VAT, corporation tax. Sometimes I wonder at the same time that when persons, I believe that manifestos should all come out on the same day, same time, you know, because I believe that sometimes persons look at manifestos and tweak theirs. No further counter tax bans, no cuts to counter tax discounts, ambition to abolish national insurance, no new taxes on pensions, health, 2.5 million more uh, NHS dental appointments, cut NHS man. You can read this. You can see Gary. Is it bigger?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, I can
Yeah.
see it.
Cut NHS managers by 5,500. You know, I was listening today. I was listening today, Gary. Um, and what I was listening today is about this gentleman who actually ripped off. Upon he ripped off the NHS by he was a janitor, no, or he was a locksmith there, and he had his own company, and he was actually, you know, using that company to sell and give a service to the NHS. Hey, Herbert, how are you doing? You know,
Good evening. How are you?
good evening, not bad. You know, he was trying
Yes,
to,
Okay.
yeah, he was using that, and he got locked up for fraud. So cut NHS managers by 5,500, increase NHS spending above inflation every year, recruit 92,000 nurses, 28,000 doctors. That's you know, specialists to issue sick notes, not GP. Bill modernized 250 GP surgeries. What Herbert, how are you doing? I'm just going through the conservative manifesto now. I touched on labor earlier. What do you think about this, Gary? This
Yeah.
health here. What do you guys think about this health sector here? Because this is very ambitious here, isn't it? This is like, yeah,
again. I mean, like the labor thing. Now, okay, he's saying again. They're saying again, will not raise income tax. Well, how are they going to fund what they want to do in their health?
mm,
Um, in education, in immigration, is what is done, is what's collected in receipts. That is what helps to fund everything else, or most things within the economy. And I just don't know how the Conservative Party is going to do all that. There's not much to go off on these things at all.
yes,
You know, you're not hearing anything. You're not hearing anything. You're not hearing these sound bites. And the problem with sound bites is that you hear it today, but yet when people get in and put the rubber to the road, it just doesn't hold, because it's there are things of there are tasks of impossibility.
they're gonna get a. You think the Labour will get a letter in the Treasury desk saying there's no money.
Well, I think that's what they're going to get. I think that's what they're going to. Let me ask you a question. Say, what is ECHR again?
European Court of Human Rights.
Okay.
Yeah, Herbert, what's your take on this?
Well, that's why you have spin doctors, because they say one thing now, and later on down, the spin doctors will come and say, "Well, the public was misunderstood, or the speaker, the prime minister, was misunderstood, and it was being taken out of context, right?"
Yes.
That's like I was watching Sunak last night,
Mm,
and he couldn't deliver himself.
yes.
However, his spin doctors may want to put a positive on it that he did very well.
Yes.
He spoke about his manifesto, and targets are being met. Well,
Mm,
if targets are being met, why are we facing so many hardships?
mm,
Is it that growing up in school we didn't understand basic English? So when the prime minister make his fancy speech using all these big words, um, we are so dumb
mm,
that it is hard for us to understand. And
mm.
when it's being called out on it, they put a positive on it. So promises made, promises not kept. I've
Yeah.
said it all the time that that's why we have deflections and resignations, because people get tired of policies that are made before election that are not being delivered during.
Before going to the education bit here, um, what do you hear from people in regards to this election? Are they excited about it, or are they just daunted by it, or they just want to get rid of conservative, or they just, oh, is there an excitement in the air you picked up? You're picking up.
It's going to be the same thing, low voter turnout, um, when it,
You think?
as in the Caribbean here, because it's just a rehashing of ideas, a recycling of old politicians, old politics.
Yes.
There's no new ideas coming to the fore. And if you have an organization, and you're the person or people that you hire to run your organization is not coming up, is not making the profit, you want to get rid of them because you're in a business, a generating business that's supposed to be generating profits and ideas to serve
Yeah.
your customers.
Mm,
And if that's not being done, then you want to get rid of them. The
yeah.
sad reality is these people keep kicking the can down the road. If it's not working with one prime minister, then they run him out and select another prime minister. Then the pain continues.
Mm, yeah. Gary, what's your take on that? Is it just a recycling, a rehashing of things? Yeah.
Yeah, I am. I think so. I think so. I mean, I don't think there's any new thing coming out. It's not something that for the electorate, if so to say, wow, you know, that wow factor. You know.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's look at the other bits regarding the manifesto for the conservative education. 30 hours free childcare for from 9 months old, uh, from September 2025. Child benefit threshold for single earner families raised to 120K. Okay. School must ban mobile phones. That's a very interesting one. And rip off degrees after 100,000 apprenticeship. 60,000 more school places, 15 new. What is very challenging or exciting or about this bit here now? This education. What stands out?
I like them to ban. I like to see mobile phones being banned from classrooms, and let me see what and let's see how far classrooms get.
It says school must ban mobile phones. Now,
Yeah,
schools, my daughter go to school. They're not allowed to have their mobile phone in class. Is what they're talking, not taking it to school or not having it used in the classroom. Maybe
not
they need.
having it used in classrooms,
And
but
what you're saying, yeah, go on, yeah.
the race started and finished 20 years ago.
Mm,
If the teachers didn't stop it then, when there were just a few hundreds, how are they going to stop it when you have now a few thousands or a few millions in school?
mm,
So you'd have to take off that students watch,
yeah.
take away their phones,
Mm,
right? And who knows, maybe even their pens.
uh,
So if you go to that extreme, are you going to supply them with books? Because even the tablets that the students use, are you going to take that away as well? Which is considered a learning materials, because the libraries do not stock the books that students use anymore.
mm,
I just graduated last year, and some of the books I needed were just online.
yeah.
And to do your research in class, you have to be on a mobile phone or on a tablet.
Yes.
So tell me how that one is going to work. You see, politicians make up all these harebrained ideas because they think that is what the voting public wants to hear.
Mm.
No, say something that makes sense. That is a low hanging fruit right here, touching the ground. Go after something higher. Go after a major problem that is affecting students. Try and see how you're going to get teachers to stop striking.
Mm. Yeah. And report degrees of 100 the whole aspect of is it now that the government is coming in and telling people how and what they should study, or studies have shown that certain degrees doesn't get people anywhere.
If I want to study witchcraft, who's there to tell me I can't study? What if I say I can make a business out of witchcraft?
Mm.
Are you
The
going to
Holy
tell me it's not a viable degree?
well, the Holy Ghost will keep that down. Yeah. Exactly.
So they must talk things that they know.
Yeah, what's your take on this education section here, especially ban mobile phones in school?
It's a bit late now to be doing that. I don't think. I mean, that's not going to help anything, is it?
Uh,
It's too late on in the day for that. Too late.
mm,
They can do that, but yet it's not going. I don't think it's going to be as effective as what they could have done.
mm. Yeah, yeah. Clutching at straws right there, isn't it? Clutching at straws.
Yeah.
If we take a look now at the immigration now, and Herbert, one of the policies of Labour was to cancel the Rwanda policy. It was very clear. It wasn't very clear leading up to things. It was, but it is very clear now. Cancel it. Immigration, remove student discount on visa health surcharge. Remove student discount. Remove student discount on visa health surcharge. Increase visa fees. Oh my days, that's a nice one. Legal cap on migration. Rwanda scheme regular flights. Half migration, then reduce every year. What do you think about this, especially for immigrants and persons who have to have their relatives and you know traveling to the UK? What do you think about this one? Immigration bit. Is it that is it that the silent majority coming through?
You can always try to have the incoming of migrants every year or every day if you want.
Mm,
But do you is within your local population, do you have technocrats to fill all the spaces that have become available by either retirement,
mm,
migration, where someone has left their job to go into greener pastures where they can make more money,
mm.
right? Do they have the required skill sets to fill those positions?
Yes.
If your answer is no, do you know how long it takes to recruit someone with the required skill sets to fill the one to fill that post that was left vacant by
Yeah.
that doctor, by that scientist? Because
Mm,
if you, Gary and I,
yeah.
have left our positions, say we have 25 years each
Yeah.
in that field. So us leaving create a vacuum of 75 years.
Yes.
Are you going to train someone to gain 75 years worth of experience overnight, or you're going to hire someone to slip in and fill that void. So yes, it's all along when you're talking about migration and having it, but do you have what it takes? That's my question to it.
I heard Stamo, Sir Keir Stamo was talking about regarding the immigration factor, and I think he alluded to it. I'm not sure if this was correct, but about some of the skill sets which are coming through migration and through asylum seekers, trying to look at it in a way, because as we know, sometimes you got some great skill sets of persons who are coming through as asylum seekers, coming from different areas, different parts of the world, where they're coming to the UK to build their life. I want to welcome Dr. David Burton. How are you on Instagram there as well? So the Rwanda scheme, regular flights. Do you think that it was or is or serving somewhat of a deterrent? Has there been any sort of deterrent in regards to asylum immigration with the boat? Let's deal with the boat, because we're on the scheme and the thing really is the boats, Gary. Gary, Herbert, go on.
Yeah, I do not think this Rwanda scheme is a viable option, and I've said it from day one. It is a smokescreen for poor politics. All right. If you want to stop the boats from coming across, your partner is there, France. The organized crime gangs are right at the tip of the river on the other side with their recipients over here.
Yes.
Do not prosecute the people on the boat. Go for the root of the matter, the root and the top. Do not go for the middle of the tree.
Yes.
Right? You're only encouraging the organized crime groups.
Yeah.
And this is all what it is, organized crime.
Let's just quickly run through housing. No stamp duty on homes up to 425K for first-time buyers. No stamp duty on homes. Now that is welcome, I must say. Capital gains tax relief. Is that my phone or your phone? Is that your phone?
That's the host phone.
Whose phone is that? Gary's phone? My phone?
That was mine.
Whose phone? Oh, it was yours. Okay, all right. Come here. Where were we again? We said new help to buy equity loan up to 20% towards cost of new building. Of new build, 5% deposit for first-time buyers. It was 10%, wasn't it?
Yeah, but for someone who doesn't have it, 5% is like 5 million. 5 million percent.
Yeah. But Bertie, come on, 5% and 10% is a big difference. I mean, somebody,
Yes.
somebody could be actually saving for that 10%, and then they hear this now and say, oh my days, we were just getting there. We're just getting the 10. We're at 8%. We need to get 10%, and they get 5%. Say, wow, and they say, honey, we got it. Let's get these stories in.
Yes. But when you go to 5%, the hidden prints and the fine prints and all the regulatory factors that comes with it takes you back up to 10%. What are you gonna do?
We'll see. Because,
let us see first before you start celebrating.
You can't see first because you have to win first, innit?
Huh?
You have to win first.
That's what I'm saying. Wait until the end of that day before you start celebrating.
Yeah. But it's a very interesting. I mean, one of the things about you see with an election and the policies, and that is very, very important that people actually go through it, because it will be something for different persons. You know, as some people say, they do not vote for. I'll get into what should I say? A party or a diehard, a diehard Labour, or a diehard Conservative, or a diehard JLP, or a diehard PNP. As a Virgin mindset, I look at the policies.
The
You know,
policies.
policies. Um, you know, someone just sent something to me a while ago. I think he's what do you call it? A reform. The latest YouGov voting intentions it conducted as reform UK 1 point ahead of the Conservatives on 19 to 18%. Anyway, I don't think that's going to happen still. At the same time, I believe that when it comes to the reality, and when push comes to shove, um, very interesting things is going to happen at this election. Environment ban executive bonus if water company commits serious criminal breach.
Whatever, man.
What's that?
Whatever.
New national park cut cost of net zero crime. 8,000 new police funded by hiking visa cost. Hotspot policing for every force to cut antisocial behavior. 25-year prison term for domestic murder, apart from those who kill their domestic abusers. Homicide sentence review to stop killers getting off lightly. Defense defendants. Yeah, go on. Yeah.
Hotspot for policing every force to cut antisocial behavior. Listen, we know. Let's not be carried away by pretty language, right?
Yes.
We know that this hotspot policing is targeting black communities, right? It's been used. Hasbro has been used for so long that people have gotten used to it.
Yeah.
Okay. The last prime minister before this one, or not the last one, the second to last one before this one.
Who is that?
Boris.
No.
Yeah.
Bojo,
Yeah. He made a pledge that he would hire 20,000 police officers. The question was, are you talking about 20,000 in addition to what was laid off or forced into retirement 2008, 2010 by Theresa May? That question has still not been answered.
Yeah.
Right. So now this one has narrowed it down from 20 to 12. Okay. Now, I'm not saying CCTV is wrong. No, it's not. But CCTV cannot replace the boots on the ground. It has assisted. Yes.
Yeah.
But in terms of crime fighting, the boots on the ground is what matters.
And there's not much boots on the ground people have been seeing these last days. Not much boots on the ground.
There's not even building to house them because they've sold the buildings.
Yeah, because in Catford there, for argument's sake, they shut down that police station. I think everybody moved to Lewisham as well, you know. But anyway, time is upon us at the same time. But that's what do we think then, Gary? What do we think then about manifestos? Are manifestos worth the paper they're on, or just a way, as someone will say, a way of actually, Herbert, you're saying, spinning things?
I mean, I think manifestos are good. It can be a help.
Yes.
But I really believe that people ought to look on what the government has done, whichever government that is, whichever the party is or has.
Yes.
What is necessary? What have they done?
Yes.
You know, what good what progress has been made? If none at all, then well, the government is just talking, out of the air, because if they haven't done what they said they were going to do before, then how are they then going to complete what they're promising to do in the next, let's say, 4, 5, 8 years, if they're voted back in? How, are they going to make good on the promises? And if the Labour Party, if the what the Labour Party has to do is they have to prove that the Conservative government have not come through on their promises. What they have to show is what they're going to do, and make it as real as possible. Don't pick out things because you're just trying to win the emotional part of the person that's going to be voting. Don't just go on the emotional part.
Yes.
But try and show what realistically can happen, and work to that. Not just tickle their fancy and say no new taxes. We're not going to raise taxes. We're not going to do that. We're going to build another 5 hospitals and get another 25,000 doctors when they can't even pay the doctors that they have now. So what's going to happen?
Yes.
No, it's I don't know.
Yes. Very, very interesting. Very interesting. That last bit there before, something I want to touch on it regarding Jamaica. What's your take then about manifestos? Are they worth the paper they're on, or the internet that they're on?
No, it's not worth it. It is not worth it, because.
So what should people then look for? So how do you communicate? How do parties then communicate to the people then?
Put it this way: I can't read.
You can't read.
But let me understand what's going on by your actions.
Yes, but that's the thing. But Bertie, come on. You have an election coming, and you got one who is in power for 14 years. One was not been in power for 14 years. Others are vying to get seats or whatever like that. Then there must be something in writing that you give to the people so they can, their promises, or how we are going to do things. There need to be something written.
It is a contract.
Yes.
Correct?
Yes.
It's a contract that
or an invitation to treat, if anything.
Yeah. But when they get in through that black door, it is still going to be kept as a contract.
Yeah.
It is still going to be kept as promises that you've made because you wanted my vote. How are you going to fulfill your promises?
Yes.
Especially on law enforcement, national security, and healthcare. How are you going to do that without ruffling feathers of your predecessors? Or is it that you want to keep your predecessors happy?
So
they're no longer running.
So this is where it is very important, as I was in a discussion with someone regarding Jamaica, is that people do not just make themselves avail at an election just for the election period, but they should do so after the election, keeping the powers that be challenging them at the same time.
Yes.
Yeah. I want to move on quickly, but something just came up, Gary, in Jamaica, which is very interesting. This one is very interesting, though. This one is very interesting. With all these polls and everything is happening, there's an MP named Darrell Vaz, and he said 64% of Jamaicans poll reject the PM with split loyalties. Gary, you heard about, and Herbert, about the whole dual citizenship thing there.
Yeah.
And then this is what he said: This is a text. My eternal PNP sources of, he keeps getting information from PNP sources. He keeps saying, my internal PNP sources have confirmed that these numbers are consistent with the Don Anderson poll the PNP have done as well. Now, guess who responded? Guess who responded to this, to what he said?
David Crawford?
No, Don Anderson. This is what
No,
Don Anderson,
okay.
this is what he said. It has been brought to my attention that a post under the photo of a government minister has appeared on Twitter claiming that I have done a poll for the PNP showing that 64% of the person interviewed reject a PN with split loyalties. This is what he said. Please be advised that I have not done any poll for the PNP or any other entity that has included a question of this nature. And hence, there's absolutely no truth in that post. That links me with any such information. What do you think about that? Is that blatant lie?
No.
Or is that lie? You say no. What's that?
That's why people like Donald Trump exist and will continue to exist.
Because people keep voting them in.
No, because they keep telling all these self-made truth.
Yes.
And nobody keeps calling them out, and nobody has been calling them out on it. But when they do, they have people who come and say the reason why they did it was to gain popularity. Right? No, why do I want to believe a politician talking about inside sources and all that? If you have inside source, call the people their name.
Yeah, I think when I look at it, because even the other day I was thinking about even this whole dual citizen thing, and to be honest with you, just like what PJ says, I think it is right for anybody who's running to be a PM, as a matter of fact, an MP, to just have one citizenship. You know, however, based on the law at this moment, it is allowed. So therefore, rectify it. Change that thing in the constitution reform.
Sylbourne.
Yeah.
While people are talking about if I'm running for prime minister, I should have one passport. I have no control over where I was conceived and where I was born. Right? Jamaica can't offer me the progress that I need. So if my parents were born in Canada and I want a good education, something that I can afford, you think I'll be going to Jamaica? No, I can't afford Jamaica's education. Right? Canada has rolled out a program where I can get my student funding without have money, yes or no. And I can go to university and I can graduate. Jamaica, you can drive past university, you must graduate because you cannot afford to enter university there. And any well-thinking, progressive human being wants the best for them and their children.
Yeah. Gary, what do you say on this?
Well, I mean, I think Herbert has said what I want to say. Really, I can't really comment on that. I mean, politicians must talk truth. They must talk truth.
Yes.
You know, I mean, they ought to be the custodians. They're the custodians of law and order, and they're also the custodians of truth. And if they are known to tell lies or untruths, and they break the law, then what do they then expect those who are looking up to them to do? You know, they can't, it's like the kettle call the pot black.
You know, I've been on this program from the whole thing regarding integrity and code of conduct by members of parliament and political persons in Jamaica, and even over here, they have to sign up to it. And the code of conduct set out 7 things that MPs or socials sign up to: selflessness, objectivity, honesty, integrity, accountability, you know, and couple others, and you realize that even so, just the last one. This is so interesting. It is just silly. It is just silly. It turned into a little cascade thing now, because the deputy speaker of the house has put in a text message something somewhat derogatory or not nice about the opposition leader wife. And now the opposition leader is challenging for him to apologize and to publicly apologize. And now guess what? The opposition leader is going to sue him now. Defamation. Now this is a speaker of the house. You see what I'm trying to say? This is a speaker of the house. And then the next one, and the next one now is about an MP who actually is come out on radio saying she's fed up with all the lies about her being the side piece of the prime minister.
Sylbourne.
Yeah.
Again, politicians are there to rule and govern, administer the rule of law as they see fit or they claim to be.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Making remarks about one's personal relationship that has not been made public is wrong. It's different where the speaker is the prime minister's wife. They have put themselves in that position for people to say things they can imply. The opposition leader's wife is not a public figure, as I may understand.
Yes.
How does she come into the argument of politics? She's not running for public office.
She's supporting her husband. Yeah.
Right? And a supporting wife supports her husband, whether he's a criminal or he's a Garrick.
Right.
Yeah? So if the opposition leader take offense to it and wants to pursue civil action, barring an apology, I think, in fairness, he should, because someone has to set an example, and the example must be set in the walls of Parliament. If you want Jamaica to go forward to say gossip and false argument about someone or against someone is not allowed.
Yes. And you know what? The very interesting thing, I need to finish off, but the very interesting thing is that in the constitutional recommendation, which is done by the CRC, something came out and it's been trying to be justified by the minister, the same minister of constitutional affairs, that impeachment is not in it. Impeachment is not in the recommendation. A way to hold these guys accountable. Impeachment of all matter of things is not in that recommendation. You know what I believe? I believe that constitution reform recommendation should be taken out. Now I look at it very clear. It should actually be taken away from the government. But I'm going to say again, given to civil society, but then who is going to appoint these persons? Let me give it to you, Gary.
No, you see, that is why the government does not want people or Jamaicans living overseas to get involved. Right? The reason why? When we left Jamaica, we left Jamaica with the knowledge of Jamaica.
Yes.
A little bit of knowledge. We came overseas, we developed ourselves educationally, academically, and we have a greater understanding of what Jamaica is.
Mm.
So they want to keep it that way. You stay over there, sir. We stay over here, so we man our own affairs, right?
Yes.
So we can only use Jamaica National, Western Union, and MoneyGram.
Yeah.
That's all. That is the only level of engagement we are allowed to take part in. We cannot have a say in what happens in Jamaica for a better Jamaica.
Do you think at the diaspora conference, which is coming up starting next week, the 16th, do you think things like this will be brought up on the floor?
No,
Gary, do you think these
no.
things will be brought up on the floor?
No. I mean, they don't want, as Herbert says, if I heard
Yeah.
him correctly, they don't want the diaspora to get involved in some things, because if the diaspora gets involved in certain aspects of whatever economy or law or whatever that may be, they know it's not going to be in their favor, because
Yes.
we are seeing a picture that
Mm.
when you went on your fact finding mission to Jamaica and sit down with people and talk about certain things, they're looking in your face as if you're from the moon. They don't know what you're talking about,
Yeah.
because they're not being told anything. They're not being told anything.
Mm.
I refer back to what you did. Was it at the beginning of this year or sometime last year,
Yeah, when
when
we travel.
you met the various communities in various areas of the UK,
Yes.
and still now I'm sure you've given them information and they haven't come back to you. They're not going to
Mm.
use it. They want to give the sense as if they're listening, but they're not listening. They're not listening to you. They're not
Yeah.
listening to Herbert. They'll never
Yes.
come back and say to Herbert, as an example, can you help us on security? In what
Mm.
way? In what way can you aid and help us to better ourselves where security is concerned? Because
Yes.
they know it already.
Yes.
They,
Yes.
they'll big up people, make them
Mm.
feel as if, well, they're valuable, and whatever they're doing it on behalf of the
Yes.
Jamaican government. But when it comes down to the brass tacks, there's nothing there.
I must say though, I do commend the bloggish regime in Jamaica, whether they are PNP or JLP side or whatever like that, because you know they're actually a lot of things are actually coming out there. I believe that through the two sides, something will drop out. Whether one is for PNP, one is for JLP, whatever, it will drop out, and somehow you'll hear certain things. There's so much things there, but yeah, let's there are a lot of Jamaicans here in the UK. A lot of people are actually feeling the pinch of everything with this election. People from the Windrush, persons who are having immigration issues. We are hearing about visa fees going to increase. Visa fees increase not going to affect the indigenous. It's going to affect the immigrants, or families. So those are things that we got to look at the same time, and to be aware of what is happening here in our space in the UK, while at the same time we keep a cursory eye and a cursory glance over in Jamaica, which is so important, which is so crucial. I saw something about a lady. I don't know if I sent it to you, Gark. I wasn't where you were. I think I sent it to Herbert, where this lady said
Yeah.
her mother got died in the hospital there because that was really sad. It's a situation whereby she said the mother she spent $95,000 for tablets for the mother while the mother is in hospital. When she went to the hospital and asking about the pills, there only two was left, Gary. Two. It's investigation as to where the pill is. The mother dead.
No,
Went to Kingston and
Silver,
dead. Yes.
Silver.
Yeah.
On one of the Saturday Night Lives
Yeah.
a couple months ago,
Yeah.
I raise the issue of the mortality rate in Jamaica, the lack of ambulatory care.
Yeah.
And one of your faithful guests asked a question if I knew how much an ambulance cost.
Yeah.
Right? Not how much that woman that died on the weekend, not how much her life cost, how much
Yes.
an ambulance cost. I sent you another one a couple weeks ago where the doctor took the patient from his surgery to the hospital in his car,
Yes.
knowing that she was dead before she left the surgery.
Wow.
Yes? And my point is the lack of proper medical care between point A and point B sometimes is a fatal mistake that people make. If ambulances are available with the correct equipment in it, more lives in Jamaica could have been saved. But there's no ambulance service. If you look across the 14 parishes, how many hospitals, how many private hospitals they have in Jamaica now, they do not have an ambulance system in place. That is why that lady died at the university hospital, because there was nothing to take her from Falmouth to Kingston.
Yes.
Right? The ambulances themselves, they give a comfortable ride because the shocks, the mechanical system are built to ride, to give you a soft ride.
Listen to her. Listen to her.
Right?
I listen. I play it. I play it.
They can't understand. When you chat on the shit too late, when a long start collapse or a hard start collapse, the man are dead. The man are dead. You understand me? Because when you keep on delay and back and forth, and no one listen plans. I want everybody to learn about this. Me don't eat. First you go in the hospital, me can't eat. You understand me? The man are dead. Died Friday after 12. And if I want to call it Saturday morning. Because when Kingston get out to perform surgery, they couldn't do it. Everything started to fail. I should go in the hospital for Saturday. Tell me now, Jamaica, what kind of health system this in 2024? This.
Yep. That is why with all of these different issues with dual citizenship and all those sort of things, there's another undercurrent which is happening there, Gary, which is deep. You know?
It is not just another undercurrent, Sylbourne.
Yeah, not undercurrent, but you know, other.
It is a tsunami.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
It's a tsunami that's happening. How many people in Jamaica? There's how many hundreds of fatalities, road fatalities every year, and I'm almost certain that half of them could have been prevented only if each parish had a paramedic team stationed at the police station or at the fire station or the hospital in the parish or a major town in the parish.
Yeah.
Where when 119 get that call of an accident,
yeah,
they present themselves unseen with well-trained paramedics with all the equipment, oxygen, all the equipment that they need to save lives.
Yes.
So it is something that they must look into.
You know what I was thinking about as well in regards to like hospitals and the equipment which are needed with the amount of tourism It is claimed that goes to Jamaica, and the amount of money which Jamaica is supposed to be making, and the amount of buildings which are being made, and the amount of infrastructure which is being made, you would think that somehow there would be a massive thrust. I don't know. Somebody can tell me otherwise. Maybe I'm wrong, but somebody can say a massive thrust towards health. Health, because that's why a lot of people from the diaspora even go back to Jamaica. Then after a while, they realize it. They come back to England. They come back to US because they realize that the health thing is not hacking it.
Let's go back to the 90s. This dancehall DJ, Josie Wills, got shot in St. Anne.
Okay.
Right? And the treatment he got was not up to standard.
Was up to standard or not up to standard?
No, was not up to standard.
Okay, yes.
You know what his next move was? Out of his own pocket, he went and bought 5 ambulances.
Oh, he bought 5 ambulances?
Yes. Are we getting to the point where we have to pay for our own medicine? May as well we build our own hospitals.
Yes.
Because the hospitals that we have, they're not serving the public's interest. They're serving the nurses and the doctors.
Yeah, but how long has that not been known, Herbert? It's not only now, it's not only now.
I know that. I know.
University and Jubilee, and the other hospitals in Jamaica has been having difficulties. It's been like that for years.
Yes, because they keep hiring people who are supposed to be guardians of the society, ensuring that people's health are well taken care of. That is what it's supposed to be. But as in this case, medication that is bought by private citizens for their relatives are going missing because they no longer need it, according to the nurses and the doctors. So give someone who can't afford it but who has a greater chance of living.
Yeah. I love to hear that lady's story. It's really touching, that lady story,
If you can get around, get around.
Yeah. Saturday night, I'm gonna try to see if I can just listen, because you see, Gary, one of the things, and Herbert, one of the things when people bring up these things, and because it doesn't fit a certain narrative, it has been politicized. The recent strike in Jamaica by the taxi guys, it is political undertone. It's like it is just trivialized into politics when people are actually trying to stand up for their rights and stand up for things which mean something to them. Someone just trivializes it by saying it is political. Which is
it will be trivialized because it is going against the narrative of the ruling party. And they're quick to hold up there and say, well, it's me. But I told you last week that the announcement by Daryl Vaz was a knee-jerk reaction to something that they should have done from its inception. Ensure that rideshare companies hire qualified, eligible drivers who have no criminal history, nothing against their names. Right? Jamaica is not the only one to fall. It happened here in the UK, happened in America. But they see the need to change the system for the better, and they change it. Now, Jamaica is the only place in the world where if you try to change something for the better, the only thing you ask, the only question you'll be asked, are we try to prove? So it may, and so it shall remain.
Yeah. All right. Well, Gary, you're enjoying here when you're coming back to. You're coming to vote. Are you giving Gary? Are you giving somebody a vote? You vote.
I'm here to not Monday coming. The following Monday, I'm leaving.
Yeah.
I don't you can hear the rain. It's pouring with rain here.
It's foreign. Okay.
Absolutely.
Where in Florida are you?
Huh?
Where in Florida are you?
Fort Lauderdale.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. There's a lot of rain down in those parts.
Mm.
It's a hurricane season, Gary.
Hurricane season, yeah. Hurricane season.
Yeah.
So, it's quite humid, you know. It's
Yes.
quite humid, but yeah.
Yes.
Rainy time, man. Rainy time.
Yeah.
I'll be back next week or the following week, Monday.
Yes.
Tuesday night, Tuesday.
Well,
Mm.
Sylbourne, the man
Yes.
can make up his mind.
What's that?
Man can make up his mind either next week, Monday, or the following Monday. It's so you next month.
It won't be next month. It won't be next month.
Yes.
We'll be back next month.
All right. Well, thanks, Gary. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you so much for joining me, joining us this evening. Those on TikTok, those on Facebook, and those on YouTube. Thank you so much. And make sure that you follow up on the elections. It's very important that you vote. Very important that you study the manifestos. Manifestos is there on the web, Labour, Conservative, and you'll find something which is there for you as much as possible. Try not to get too much in the hype, but look at certain things which are substance and what you're gonna. And especially for Jamaica, we just keep our eye on Jamaica as well. And condolences to that lady there regarding her mother as well. So remember to like and subscribe, and see you this Saturday, and peace out and all the best. Thank you.